Perfectly matched today. Oh, Jeremy, I love me a matchy. Check your shoes out. We gotta check out Jeremy's shoes. Seriously, hold on. Check out those beauties.
Trucks, right?
Is that why we do it? We just added for the Brink store. Oh my gosh, yeah. I wonder if it is.
At least when I was playing ball and I was running back, people were like, you'd run like an armored truck. So Brinks worked.
Brinks made sense.
Yep.
You're a running back, eh?
Yep.
What's your favorite CFL team?
Hamilton Tiger Cats.
I also go Ticats go. Oski wee wee.
Not this season, but
not this season. Next season. Good luck. What about NFL?
Cleveland Browns.
The Browns. Okay, all right.
Same deal with the Ticats this year.
Oh, fair. I've always been a Packers fan.
Yeah.
I can't help it. It's the cheese.
I've been a Browns fan since I was 8 years old. So
Jeremy Brink, welcome. Oh, we haven't even done the intro. Well, here we are. Welcome to the Tiffany Show, your TV, Peterborough, Lindsay, Kojiko, and of course, my social media channels. We are in beautiful downtown PTBO Canoe Cafe, Euphoria Wellness Spa. Jeremy Brink. We've known each other through the community several years.
A number of years, yeah.
Yeah. Heads Up for Inclusion or Council was where we connected.
Heads Up for Inclusion.
And then a whole bunch of different business events, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you tell our friends a little bit about yourself?
Okay, well, grew up in the Burlington, Hamilton area. 51 years old. Have loved sports forever. Started playing football when I was 7.
Oh, wow.
Loved basketball.
Okay.
But I stopped growing, so I focused more on football. I ran track. But I embraced being an athlete. Nice. I was in the military for a couple of years.
You did military too?
When the recession hit in the 90s.
Yeah.
I was working at a group home in Burlington, and they said, they had to let me go. And they're like, we like you, but if you can go do something for a couple of years, let the economy get better, then hopefully things get better. I'm like, what am I going to do? I had no idea, but I was living in Hamilton at the time. And I used to, when I would walk to the farmer's market, like anyone, I was just like struggling, but I used to walk past a recruiting center. And I was a cadet back when I was much younger.
Cadets, yep.
And there was no work. And I was like, well, I'm going in.
Sign up, yeah.
And I went in and signed up, but they didn't hire me right away. They were on a hiring freeze. A buddy of mine who was working at a Christian summer camp and do maintenance all summer. I'm not very handy, but
you're sportsy.
Fake it till you make it. So I did that, and then the military had called my parents, and they had offered me a job in the infantry. So off I went for a few years. Can
you maybe share a moment in life where a setback or a challenge taught you a valuable lesson?
I've got a few to choose from.
We got a whole list.
I think basically after I found out that I had become disabled and I wasn't able to do shift work anymore, working in group homes and stuff like that because of the medications I take.
Oh.
And I didn't know what to do. And a friend of mine had said, well, why don't you go back to school and update all your stuff? Go back and, work with kids. I didn't think I'd go back to school in my 40s.
It was in your 40s that you went back to school. Good. Yes. Because we can do anything at any time.
Yeah. So that was a major step.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had 2 little ones at the time.
Oh.
And, so they got to see me, apply myself. And, Dad, come watch the movie with us. And I'm like, I can't right now, kids, I got to finish this assignment and what have you. But then again, outside of the birth of both of them, they got to see Daddy walk across the stage when I graduated. And that's it's one of my favorite memories.
That is so special. You have beautiful kids.
Thank you.
Wonderful children. I've actually met your daughter, but like outside of any interaction that we've had.
Yes.
I think your daughter ran in a group of friends that one of my girlfriends, anyway, they ended up at my house trick-or-treating one year.
Okay.
Yep. I want to say it was pre-COVID. I feel like it was that long ago because your daughter's like God, 19, 20?
18.
18. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
rushing it. I'm sorry, Dad.
It's all right. No, she's from Carleton in Ottawa.
Oh, she's in Carleton.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask what she's taken?
She's majoring in psychology honors.
Oh, beautiful. And is it Jalen and Jaden?
Jadis.
Jadis. There we go. I knew
Yes.
I had the J's in there.
Yeah, J3.
J3. Oh my gosh. Yes. And oh my God, I was watching your Thanksgiving turkey that I do every year.
Yep.
Every year. Oh, foodie appreciates another foodie, Jeremy.
100%.
So when it comes to significant challenges that you have faced, picking up in your 40s and going back to school takes courage. Because
Thank
it's
you.
easy to get in your own head and be like, oh my, I'm going to go back with a bunch of 20-year-olds, da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yes.
Super amazing that you went through and achieved that. Even more so that your kids got to see you do that
Thank you.
and realize that like, oh, we can do anything at any point in our lives that we want to do. How have those challenges shaped your perspective and how you move in the world?
I see most things now as teachable moments, whether it's, trying to teach people about anti-racism,
Yes.
or also, being, having a vascular chronic disability, trying to help people understand that as well, because
Right.
again, you can't see it. And, my disability almost killed me and has put me in the hospital multiple times. And so it's one of those things where it's like, again, people don't know what they don't know.
They don't.
And so instead of me getting angry, I decided that I needed to try to educate people that wanted to actually listen and learn.
We need voices and people and human connection. And I love that you bring that lens of empathy to each other, because there's so many invisible things that we don't know.
Mhm.
And how we treat people can seriously change the direction of somebody's life.
Yes.
So in those moments of doubt or adversity, who or what has pushed Jeremy on?
My children. And before I had my children, it was myself.
Oh, it makes me think of that Snoop Dogg clip. Have you seen where he gets an award? And they're like, who do you want to thank? And he's like, I want to thank me.
Yes.
Oh,
It's important to believe in yourself. But on honesty, my two children are my why.
that is beautiful.
And before they came along, I was, I had to believe in myself. I had to trust in myself. And, as I tell my kids, I said, life's full of speed bumps and you're going to fall on your face. It's what you do after you fall. Do you pick yourself up and keep going, or do you stay laying down on the ground?
We get up.
We get up.
If there's is it a football player that says you get knocked down 8, you get up 9?
Potentially, I'm not sure.
I feel like
Sounds like a Rocky quote, but
it could be a Rocky quote. It's funny, these little things, like, when you wake up in the morning, and sometimes it's easy to be like negative or hardwired to like,
I'm a morning person, so no.
are you?
Yes.
I am also a morning person, but sometimes the anxiety or whatever it is kind of getting the best of me in the middle of the night,
Yeah.
And you wake up in the morning and you kind of got to snap yourself out of it, but it's not necessarily easy to snap yourself out. So I have like this motivational playlist of different people talking. And one of the clips on there, he's like, you get knocked down 8, you get back up 9. And like every time I hear that, I'm like, yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. Did you come from like a family of self-lovers and fighters? Or was this like the self-love and what kind of a skill that you
This is all
honed on life?
me.
Wow. That's a lot of work it takes to get to. It's not easy.
I won't say that it wasn't tough.
Yeah.
It took a lot of work
Yeah.
and years to look inside myself and love myself enough to because everyone has something about themselves that they don't like and they tear themselves down.
Yeah.
And I had to learn to embrace my faults and understand that, everyone has something that they don't like about themselves, but don't let that hold you back. You have to learn to accept yourself in your entirety. And that's what I try to model for my kids.
Oh my God.
And for anyone else. I try to lead by example.
You can, the world just needs, we all could use a bit more of that.
I just try to be me. Try to instill that in my kids. And, whatever happens, happens. But at the end of the day, you got to be able to look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? It might not have went the way I wanted it to go, but that's okay.
You see, and the world just needs more and more and more of that. So when it comes to those hard times, right, where we're down and we do get back up, but maybe we're struggling a little bit to get up.
Mm-hmm.
Is there something that you say to yourself to fuel yourself out of that, to push yourself forward?
It's more of, I don't allow myself to stay in the gutter.
Ooh.
Right? Everyone has those moments of self-doubt. Everyone has those moments where they, are circling the toilet bowl.
Yep. Yeah.
But for me, it's, do I want my kids to see me give up? What am I showing them by just laying down and saying, I can't do this? That's not an option. It's not. And even before my kids came, do I really want to give up on myself?
Yeah.
And, I always wanted to, I wanted to be a professional football player and, all that stuff. Didn't happen, but I know the willpower and, the time in the weight room and things like that, just to get to the level that I played at. I felt good about, what I was doing. And
right.
So from that, when my kids came and I was like, I'm helping raise these two little ones. And now they are 18 and 16 and they are these young adults. And it's amazing when I see, their mannerisms or something that reminds me of myself. It warms my heart.
Oh, that's gotta be a cool moment about being a parent.
It's important for, at least for me, to show my kids unconditional love.
Yeah.
There was a quote off a TV show. The one character had said, I love you more than anything you could ever do wrong. And that just...
Oh, those dad words got me right in the heart, buddy. Woo.
So,
I love you more than anything you could do wrong.
Yes.
Oh my God, I don't know if I need a second. Whew. Oh, that is so beautiful. What a beautiful thing to hear and apply and relate with and let sink deep into your soul, right?
Yes.
So if little Jeremy were hanging out with us today, what would you tell that little fella?
Trust your gut. Don't be afraid to set up boundaries. Set boundaries and stick to them. And don't be ashamed of your boundaries because they're personal to you. No one has the right to question your boundaries because they're yours. People might not understand them. That's fine. But to say, well, that's not right. You're not me. How would you know?
Yeah.
So again, you might not understand someone's boundaries, but you need to respect them.
Were you boundaried when you were younger, or was this something that you had to learn along the way to protect yourself?
I learned along the way.
Yeah. Were you a bit of a people pleaser? I have the people pleaser, unfortunately.
I was.
Yeah.
People pleaser, social butterfly, that type of thing. I didn't like people to be angry with me or upset with me. And so I would always put others first. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that to a degree.
Yeah.
But again, self-care. You need to love on yourself.
Yeah.
And that took some time. I'm still trying to figure out. It's not the book's not closed. It's just a different chapter.
Right.
You have to find your own way. It's your story. So go write it.
Wow. Is this what you were nurtured with, that you spread? No. Was it your time in the youth home that, like, with kids, that sort of, it's such a special quality. Like, not a lot of people have this, Jeremy.
I guess it's just my personal trait.
Yeah.
You know, I've done a lot of things, and all ultimately about like helping people, which is funny because, you know, in high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And, you know, I thought I wanted to be a firefighter, but yet somehow the guidance counselors pointed me towards policing. And so, but ultimately I ended up in social services.
Yeah.
Which is where I should have been right off the hop.
Right.
But of course, I look at it more like I had to do all those other things to really, you know, find my calling. And even though I thought those other careers I was helping people, being in the social service field,
yeah,
I've been able to really get down at the street level and work with all of the marginalized communities. You know, and again, as a visible minority,
yeah,
and living with a disability, I'm already in those communities.
Right.
And so when I'm working with the marginalized communities, there's already an understanding. Trust needs to be earned, but once they understand that I understand the trials and tribulations of what it means to, you know, be a different color than the majority of the people in the city, or living with a disability that is debilitating.
Yeah.
Then you start to have a more broader conversation.
Right. There's a bit of mutual respect there too, when they realize the journey that we walk through, like, fundamentally can change communities, right? When we get people with hearts in the right place and serving those individuals. It's beautiful work, and we're like it takes really special individuals that care about humanity and other individuals and do that work and help bring us together.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
When it comes to life lessons, I feel like you could toss us some dad advice. If you've got some life lessons you could throw at us, or maybe the core values that Jeremy lives by. What are Jeremy's core values?
If I can look this up for you.
Do it, yeah.
Just for a
yes,
moment.
you can.
I want to get my quote proper.
Like, it's our show, Jeremy. We can do whatever we want here.
First one is, leave no doubt in the integrity of your intentions.
Leave no doubt in the integrity of your intentions.
Yes, I saw that quote somewhere, can't remember where, and it just resonated with me. And so now I leave that on all the bottoms of my emails.
Oh, I love that.
So there's that one. But then I think the one that I mostly live by, my core value is, again, like I think I already mentioned it, you don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know.
And so ask questions. Go down again. Like my majority of my adult life has been working in the social service field.
Right.
So again, the last position I held was working for a friendship center, the Nogajuma Friendship Center here in town.
Yeah.
And I was the housing coordinator.
Oh, okay.
So trying to find indigenous people's sustainable housing, and chatting with people down at in Tent City and things like that. And again, what a lot of people don't understand is that, again, not everyone that is unhoused has mental health issues or is struggling with addictions.
Yes.
It's, again, you can all of a sudden miss out on a couple mortgage payments and boom.
Absolutely.
Right? Again, and that person's not an addict. That person is not, have any, mental health challenges.
Yep.
They just, again, life happened, and all of a sudden now they're in a tent.
Yeah.
And again, so when people tend to use a broad brush on, oh, well, these people are this. And it's like, well, have you actually gone down and talked to anybody?
Yeah.
Have you gone to One Roof and volunteered at, with one of their meals, one of the dinners?
Have you handed out a meal?
Yeah. I'm like, do that. Like, because I
do that.
Yeah, do that. Right. Again, you don't know what you don't know.
No.
So instead of standing on a perch and judging people. Go out and actually, get down in it. Get on the street and actually ask some questions. Like, not ask questions as in like why. It's like, no, just go and be of service.
Yes. How can I support you?
Yep.
Who are you?
Yeah. Again, no different than someone who is, living with a disability.
Yep.
Right? It's like, well, you look fine. I'm like, I might look fine, but I'm not fine.
Yeah.
I said, would you like to know more? Right? Because if you're actually curious, I'll talk to you. But if you've already made up your mind, I'm not here to try to convince you.
Curiosity over criticism, right?
Mm-hmm.
And meet people where they are and
Yes.
have conversations.
100%.
Can you maybe share a moment? Because it takes it's kindness and humanity and to be able to approach the world with that curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share a moment where somebody's kindness or curiosity impacted your own life?
Yes. And I have no idea who actually did this, but back when I was singing with the Peterborough Singers.
Oh, I forgot you were with the Peterborough Singers.
I was, yeah.
Are you still singing or just in the shower?
Just in the shower.
All right.
Don't we all?
Don't we all, buddy?
But back in 2017, there was a trip to go and be the guest choir singing at York Minster Cathedral in England.
Oh.
And, when I first joined the choir, 13 years ago at that point, or around that point, 12, can't remember exactly when I joined anymore. Anyways, they had just gone to England and sung at one of the cathedrals there, and they had an amazing time. And I was like, oh, that would be so fun to experience, that type of history. I'm a big history buff, and so I know there's all kinds of history out in England. I was asked, like, are you going to go? I'm like, I can't afford to go. And our director, Sid Burrell, has said, you've gone back to school. I said, yes, I have. And he goes, okay, well, I'll see what I can do. And sure enough, there was, for students and what have you, there was private donations that came in that allowed students to go. And so I was, because I was a student, I was able to, like, again, they did a partial payment, and then I was able to come up with the rest, and then I was able to go.
Amazing.
And that was the best non-tropical trip I've ever been on.
Non-tropical.
Yes.
If you're traveling somewhere tropical, where are you traveling?
I'm planning on my children and I on going on a family trip to Costa Rica when it's a little bit smoother for us to go.
Yeah, good call. Costa Rica's on my husband's list.
Yes, I've heard nothing but good things.
Me too.
So that is our plan.
I have to say, when it comes to tropics, Jamaica changed my life. I went to Jamaica at like a really, really sad time in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And the people there are the most accepting, loving, easy people I've ever met. And I don't know if it was because I was in such a dark, sad headspace.
Mm-hmm.
I heard the term Jamaica no problem over and over and over again. And something would happen and somebody would be like, oh, Jamaica no problem. I carry that with me. I actually wrote it on a Post-it, and it sits on my mirror every morning when I get ready.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm feeling that reaction, I'll say to myself, Jamaica no problem.
My biological parents were Jamaican.
Were they Jamaican?
Yes. So I've always planned to go to Jamaica, but I refuse to stay in a hotel.
Oh, that's fair.
I want to try and be with the people, right? Like if that's where my ancestry is from, my first trip there, I don't want to be in a hotel.
That's fair.
I said, there's a lot of steps to take to try and sort that out. But that's my plan for Jamaica.
That's on your bucket list?
Yes.
I have a bucket list of my grandparents immigrated from a little community called Sapino in Italy, and I will never go to Italy and stay for the same reasons.
Yeah.
I want to go and stay in the community, and they had their house was built right in the mountains.
Oh, gorgeous.
And they would all in the mornings, they would link arms together and they would walk to church on Sundays together. And yeah, I'm like, I want to see that.
Yes.
I want
to experience that.
Yeah. And know that where the parts of my personality and where the parts of my soul came from.
Yes.
And is it tied to Italy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't necessarily have the family tree that others have where they get kind of a deeper knowledge, but I cling to Italy because it's like the one thing I do know. But I really, I love and appreciate that wanting to go back to the place where our ancestors came from, but the exact place to find an experience and feel closer to them, to be honest.
100%.
Oh, Jeremy, what is the best thing about life?
My children.
Oh, I should have bet money that you would say that. I really love you for that.
Thank you.
And finally, Jeremy, if you could share a message with everybody that's watching, what do you want to tell them?
I think, try to, face each moment of your life the best way you can. And again, like through all of, the turmoil and ups and downs of life, again, if you don't know something, ask some questions, right? Like there's nothing wrong with saying, you know what? I don't know the answer to that, but I'm going to find out. And don't be afraid to ask questions, jump in with both feet, and truly be a student of life. That's it.
Oh, the advice today, man, were you built to work with humans? What a calling, eh?
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem.
For all that you've done and the lives that you've touched and the communities that you've influenced and the messages that you spread. Jeremy Brink, you are absolutely a beautiful human being. Thank you so much for joining me today.
I appreciate that. And I thank you for the opportunity to share my story.
Oh, I love it. And it brings all of us closer together. And, I live for it. The humankind, right?
Yes.
This has been another episode of The Tiffany Show. Be kind, keep going, and all that good stuff.
You're looking to sell your home or cottage? You want to work with someone who knows the market inside and out. Hi, I'm Sarah Evans, born and raised in Peterborough, Ontario. I'm very proud to call this great community home. Contact me today and I can promise to exceed your expectations. 705-768-6278 or visit sarahevans.ca.
Not intended to solicit those currently under contract.